Baldurs Gate 3 has been receiving love, attention, and well-deserved praise, the likes of which no game, in my opinion, has ever gotten in the past few decades. With the game selling over 2.9 million copies by the time of making this video, I can only compare this success and adoration to the release of another beloved game by many RPG fans, BioWare's Dragon Age Origins. Larian Studios shook the gaming industry by releasing a masterpiece with the old, ancient, and possibly lost mentality of making a game actually fun as the primary goal, as opposed to how to monetize and mold the game to a point where it can squeeze out the most money possible from players, leaving the initial idea of the game just a shell, a husk, devoid of its identity and creativity. Or just a watered down version of whatever the game was supposed to be. But enough of that. There are already plenty of videos out there that can tell you more details on the success of Baldurs Gate 3 and how it interrupted a sad pattern in the modern gaming industry. This video is about why you should play Baldurs Gate 3. I've been on board the Baldurs Gate 3 journey ever since it was released in early access back in October 6, 2020. With now having over 450 hours in, I've seen the game molded into what it is now by how Larian handled the time they had during early access, taking feedback from the players into account during the development time leading up until its release. I mean, it's still even happening today. It's been a while since we've seen developers actually care about the game they're releasing this much. I mean, just look at this guy.
This is the way! Behold, the secret sauce of Dungeons and Dragons!
Look at him! I love this guy! It's like taking a bite out of a fresh apple after eating nothing but junk food and Mountain Dew for 2 decades. It's like that first sip of fresh water after being adrift in the middle of the godforsaken ocean. You get what I mean. It's the fervor we see in many creative indie studios, but realized into a well-deserved success story. Something we've been starved for from the AAA titans we used to hold so dear. Larian Studios and Baldurs Gate 3 remind me of the older versions of gaming companies, back in the good old days when developers gave a damn about making something good. Something driven by creativity and storytelling, delivering an idea to an audience rather than looking at it just as a product. Games for me used to be the brainchild, the culmination of an experience the developer wants to share with the players. From the mechanics, the theme, the story, the gameplay, the world these developers, these artists have crafted. They used to be something special, an art piece crafted to be shared with an audience as an experience. Playing Baldurs Gate 3 reminded me of this. You can feel the love and passion these people have put into this game, and that to me is what games should be. Baldurs Gate 3 is filled to the brim with side quests, storylines, and endings that I can only compare to the original Mass Effect and Dragon Age Origins. Hell, even with the older games like the first Fallouts and Baldur's Gate games. Sure, there are similar games like the Pathfinder series, the Divinity Original Sin series, but Baldur's Gate 3 just adds that extra push of depth. With a combination of great voice acting, animations, and sound design alongside a good narrative. It gives that extra bit of oomph to a game genre that's soul is very much tied to the art of storytelling. An avenue where even players new to the D&D tabletop genre or RPG genre can enjoy. It's the essence of D&D that Larian captured and managed to share with us. Storytelling. What Larian achieved with Baldurs Gate 3 is the combined experiences from their past releases alongside the thousands of feedback they've gathered from players and fans. They've managed to create what makes turn-based CRPG gameplay satisfying, with the D&D dice mechanics interwoven with the freedom of having to choose what you want your narrative to be, with the bonuses of that extra production quality. It shows how they've taken the time to really think on the best approach they can take when implementing the core rules from the good old tabletop D&D and translate it into a video game. So whether you're a veteran or new to the genre, I've no doubt you'll enjoy one if not both the gameplay and narrative, with over 174 hours of cinematic sweetness. Baldurs Gate 3 certainly didn't skimp on what makes exploration great. Just the sheer amount of detail and craftsmanship they've put into these set locations are just breathtaking. The atmosphere they created just draws you in. The environment design is nothing but outstanding, with bits and details carefully placed here and there to give context or tidbits of stories as to what's around the corner. It's details like these that makes you want to look around every nook and cranny to find hidden surprises or details that the devs laid out. Nowhere is ever just a chore to go through. Each area you journey to are like small stories that add to your adventure. And to me, that's one of the core pillars of an RPG based off of D&D. Lastly, let's talk about the quality. Spoiler alert! Those don't want to get spoiled, just look away for a bit. And then 3, 2, 1.
Shit.
I can't express how satisfying it is to watch these cinematic masterpieces whenever it happens. You can just see quality oozing out of every corner in this game. From the dialogue, the cutscenes, the spell effects, the narration, the voice acting. God, the voice acting. Just listen to this guy.
I'll tell you a story, true soul. About a man who sold himself, piece by piece. He had everything. A wonderful wife, a brilliant daughter. They lived not far from here. His wife died too young. Grief tore through their home like a thief, snatching away the scent of her hair, the rustle of her skirts. But the man did not break. He could not break. His daughter needed him whole, after all. She grew up, grew strong, challenged him, filled his heart with such joy it supplanted all sorrow. When she was killed, the man, he tried to remain whole. But it wasn't possible. Do you understand?
It's everything a D&D and RPG nerd like me could ever ask for. Even if you're an outsider looking in, you can just see the dedication and effort these artists gave to this masterpiece. It's what's been missing from most game releases these past decades. The thing that makes some of these AAA releases bland, and sometimes even leaves them bewildered and begging to not let this be the standard. It's what giant corporations nowadays take away from once beloved game franchises. Its soul. Hey there! First of all, thanks for watching the video. I've been playing Baldurs Gate 3 and it surpassed my expectations so much that I just had to make a video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you all would like to see me make more of these, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Would love to hear your comments too, so if you all have any criticisms or takes, just leave them down below in the comments. I might make another one of these for Starfield, but yeah, we'll see. Just Larian just blew this out of the park, and yeah. Anyways, thank you all again, and y'all stay safe out there.